And hello again, everyone. Welcome to Oklahoma Sports Scene. I'm Chris Lincoln, along with Gil Cloud, the Tulsa Public Schools Athletic Director and Hall of Famer. Coach, busy show and a lot to talk about in sports.
Busy show and a lot of weather.
Oh, that's right.
We're taping on Monday, and I'll tell you, it's kind of interesting out there.
It dominated the state, a lot of cancellations, and everybody be safe out there for sure. Well, our lineup includes some very brave guests who are all coming into our Peak One studios here in downtown Tulsa, including to wrap up the PGA. Couldn't find a better guy, better qualified certainly, than Bo Van Pelt.
Bo, you know, he knows the players.
Yep.
He knows the course. He's been on with all the players. And I'm looking forward to him getting healed up back in October and get well again. But, you know, I thought I was going to have to eat my words because the last show I said nobody will shoot 19 under at Bethpage. And when they were sitting there at 13 and 14, I'm thinking, oh, my God. But the course won. On the fourth day.
And Brooks Koepka made it exciting. We'll talk a lot about that with Bo Van Pelt. And you, by meaning you, the Tulsa Public Schools have a big charity golf event. It's always one of your big events.
Yeah, June 7th. It's always the first Friday in June, and we'll give you the information on how to sign up and everything. It's all going to be done right at La Fortune, so it makes it one-stop shopping very easy for everyone.
And our good friend Brian Carroll, the main guy of the communications at Tulsa Dodos, will be here to update the driller season so far. They're at the 500 mark and getting ready, though, for a couple of big homestands. We'll talk about that. And, of course, One Oak Field, also the site coming up for the Texas League All-Star Game. We'll talk more about that as well. And then we got some high school champions to have in the studio here, starting with the Pryor Tigers.
Pryor Tigers, Gerald Osborne, undefeated. Unbelievable year for the Pryor Tigers. And, of course, then we have Eric Marshall, who is the head boys soccer coach at Jinx, and they were undefeated.
That's
you
right.
know, and Cassie Embry, who is our head girls coach at Booker T, back-to-back state championships and beat Kelly in the finals. So it'll be an interesting show to see what they have to say about their program and where they're headed in the next few years.
And for horse racing fans, obviously, we always have our Remington race report. We're talking to Dale Day in Oklahoma City about that. Some big trial races this past weekend. Also, we'll take a look back at the second jewel of racing's Triple Crown, the Preakness Stakes. All right, guys, let's get into our hot topics now, Coach, and start with the NBA Championship. And, of course, as we're taping the show on a Monday, I would have to think that it'll be pretty soon before Golden State wraps theirs up, wouldn't it?
But they're 3-0 right now,
right,
and I think they're going to wrap it up, and I don't know that there's anybody that can beat them. You know, I heard our friends over in Oklahoma City at the Animal today, and they were talking about all the Warrior haters now have jumped over the fence. Since Durant is hurt, they want him to win without Durant.
Oh, gosh.
So that's, but I think they can without him.
Warriors going for a sixth title. They're going for the three-peat. They won 3 of the last 4. They've been dominant. Toronto is leading the East. Have won the East already, 4th year with Philadelphia. So the Raptors are just waiting to see who's going to win in the West. By the way, that means that the NBA Championship, the final championship series, best of 7, will start May 30th. Coach, it could run to the 16th of June.
You know, it's amazing.
Oh, my gosh.
Our professional sports seasons continue to add on and add on and add on. And, you know, baseball is as bad as the NBA. Football now is adding another, you know, but they just keep adding on. So.
Now, the 114th Preakness Stakes was run this past Saturday at Pimlico Racecourse in Baltimore. We'll take a look back at that as War of Will. On the rail, right through, got an opening there, won by a length and a quarter, and paid $14.20 for that. The first Triple Crown win for his connections, trainer Mark Cassie, along with Tyler Gaffleone, the jockey, and the owner, Hollywood filmmaker Gary Barber. So congratulations to them. War of Will, the one-horse winning the 144th Preakness Stakes. War of Will becomes by the 19th one to win the Preakness after falling short in the Kentucky Derby. Bob Baffert's trained Improbable was the favorite, and he did not run a lick and finished 6th in that. June 8th, the Belmont Stakes, final jewel of the Triple Crown, Test of the Champion. We'll go on a 1.5 mile at Big Belmont Park to finish out the Triple Crown Series. And then, as you mentioned, we'll talk more on this, but our friend Bo Van Pelt will talk more about the PGA Championship.
I tell you, they had the course set up on Sunday as tough as it could be.
Oh, boy.
And then the wind came in, 20 to 25 miles an hour, and it really played havoc with their scores. And, you know, but Koepka, what a player.
Wow.
What a player.
Back-to-back PGA Championships.
You bet.
Well, let's talk about that. And about the change in the calendar. And believe me, this city, Tulsa, and Southern Hills Country Club had a lot to do with the change in the calendar. Guess what the two hottest PGAs on record were? Both played here in Tulsa, Oklahoma in August, so they're back to May now. All right, Oilers Conference Finals coach. They were down 0-2 up in Toledo, came back, won a couple of games here, 4-1. Then Game 4, I was there for that one. Big Al Jerkins was back in town.
All right.
He and I were there with Kate McFarlane, Channel 2, and another good friend of ours, Barry Hinton, is back, basketball coach. Oral Roberts coach and stuff, and Missouri State. He was here. We enjoyed the game, and the Oilers won 2-1 in overtime. Then on Sunday, the Toledo came back and a vengeance, won that 4-1. They lead the series 3-2, and as we're taping this show, they're playing tonight in Toledo. Hopefully, they'll come back and play Game 7 in Tulsa to be okay. Either way, we'll hopefully have a wrap-up with the Tulsa Oilers coming up on the next show. NCAA softball tournament, number 1 seed Oklahoma. Hey, a little bit of shocker there for the Sooner girls, huh?
I tell you, watch the game. It was incredible. You know, having been a baseball coach for a long time, and to see them put the squeeze play in back to back was great. You know, I can remember sitting with our former colleague JV at a regional baseball team game one time, and out at LaFortune Park, and we were talking about the skills and fundamentals that they don't teach. They just play games.
Yeah.
They don't, and the ability to bunt can, and I guarantee you, Wisconsin proved it. They won the game with 2 bunts.
They stopped OU's win streak at 41 games in a row. The Sooners, though, prevailed in the second game, 2-1 to move on to 2-0 to move on to the Super Regionals. They'll be hosting May 24th to 26th. Number 1 seed in the national tournament, OU takes on 17 seed Northwestern. The Cowgirls beat Tulsa in their regional title game, the first since '98 they've had. Cowgirls go to the first Super Regional. They'll be going to Florida State, take on the Seminoles there. And Tulsa finished their season 37-20, but again, congratulations, the Golden Hurricane, 4 straight regional appearances. Roughneck soccer coach, hey, they're finally going to get home after a long series of road trips here. They're 4-3-4, 16 points, and right now they're 5th in the Western Division. Their next home game will be June the 1st against Austin at One Oak Field. And just a couple of quick things. Big 12 baseball starts this week, and coach, double elimination over at Oklahoma City.
Well, we're really happy to have it in Oklahoma. I think that's a great venue for that, and you know, the Big 12 I think is going to acquit themselves very well in baseball. I think we have some quality teams that could make it to the World Series.
Number 3 Oklahoma State seed takes on 6 seed TCU. 7 seed OU will take on the number 2 seed Baylor. Interesting. The only team that did not make it of the 9 that play in the Big 12 in baseball, hard to believe, Texas 7-16.
Unbelievable.
Boy, the Longhorns fallen, had a great baseball tradition. Summer League Baseball is going to be right here in Tulsa. Oral Roberts plays the host role, 22nd to the 25th. ORU is the number 3 seed. They'll take on 2 seed South Dakota State in the Wednesday game, 6 p.m. just after our taping, or after our show airs, I should say. ORU, those won the last 3 Summer League titles. And Roger State, congratulations to the Hillcats, right?
First time into the NCAA Division II regional playoffs, and that's a great step for them for the future.
And I also want to recognize the University of Tulsa rowing team and competing in the American Athletic Conference rowing competition at the Oklahoma City Rowing Center. The TU women finished 3rd there. We come back, PGA recap with none other than Bo Van Pelt. Stay with us on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Jimmy's Egg now introducing a 55-plus menu. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Special items and special prices for us a little older, I guess you'd say. Also, don't forget, coming up on Jimmy's Egg, they have free pancakes. That's right. You download their app, you can order free pancakes. The best ever, of course, at Jimmy's Egg. They serve breakfast and lunch all day. They open at 6 a.m. They close at 2 p.m. Locations throughout Tulsa, throughout Oklahoma City, 22 company locations. Jimmy's Egg, simply the best.
At Rogers State University, we keep things personal.
It all starts here.
We make sure our graduates get the most out of their education.
RSU has campuses in Claremore, Bartlesville, and Pryor, with on-campus housing and a wide variety of programs to suit your needs.
It all starts here.
Rogers State University.
At Bricktown Brewery, we're known for our famous original craft beers like Single String Stout and Bluesberry Ale. Did you know we also brew our own root beer at our Oklahoma City brewhouse? It's called Attaboy Root Beer, and you'll love it no matter what your age. Just ask for a Bricktown Kids menu with all the favorites for our guests 12 and under. Bricktown Brewery opens every day at 11 a.m.
We're back on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Our special guest, whenever we talk PGA golf, we have to have our PGA professional here, Bo Van Pelt. Bo, thanks for joining us again.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
What was your thoughts? The 101st PGA Championship at the tough course there, the
Bethpage, yeah.
Black. Wow.
Brooks, obviously to win his fourth major in 23 months is pretty amazing. Coming on the scene. Hats off to Dustin Johnson. Played well on Sunday to make it interesting. Looked to be a little bit of a runaway, but the golfing gods and Bethpage Black had a little something for the guys coming down the stretch there. But it was a great win by Brooks and exciting finish.
I heard they're referring to him on TV as Popeye because of his weight training.
Yeah, no, he's a strong guy. Like earlier in the year they showed kind of his before the Honda doing 225 like 17 or 18 times. So he got Sean Payton said he might be on his draft board.
So he's a Florida State golfer, right? Mm-hmm. And he went really overseas, and he was just kind of a golfer. No one paid much attention to him.
Yeah, no, I think that's really given him kind of some of his mental toughness going in. He went and played all over the world to kind of build his resume. It wasn't a lot of glamour, wasn't a lot of money, but he got tough, won on a bunch of different golf courses in countries a lot of people have never heard of. Yeah. And so when he got the opportunity, worked on his game and got a chance, he's making the most of it.
I think that's good for golf too. To have
for sure.
another person rise to the top. I think, and what concerns me a little bit, and I was thinking about this over the weekend. We've had a couple of golf courses closed down in this area. Mm-hmm. Do you think that golf has lost a little bit of that since the demise of Tiger and some of that?
Well, I think it's like a lot of things. I think golf went through a period where it probably got overbuilt, where they probably built more golf courses than they need to. And, it sounds glamorous to build a housing development there, but once you sell the houses, that golf course still takes money. Mm-hmm. I think that golf, the people still want to play. I think, there's things that needs to be where maybe play a little faster, can be not quite as expensive, and, it's still a great sport, and it's a game you can play for the rest of your life.
Sure.
And Tiger Woods, of course, was the 8-1 favorite after the great Masters performance. Did he make the cut, +5? Yeah, no, it just, to me, he struggled off the tee. The rough was up, and it's a tremendously demanding golf course off the tee. Brooks and Dustin Johnson are two of the best drivers of the golf ball in the world. So, I'll pat myself on the back. They were my two picks on the radio. Nice, well done.
Really, what they do well set themselves apart. I think Tiger just struggled hitting the ball in the fairway. Yeah. And so from that standpoint at Bethpage, you just weren't going to be able to score well.
You played that course for
I played the U.S. Open there when Lucas Glover won. I played the FedEx event in 2012. And it comes down to driving the ball well. Lucas Glover won there as a great driver of the ball. Nick Watney won the FedEx event there. It's guys that drive it pretty long and straight. And you saw that coming down the stretch. When the wind picked up, it's a hard enough driving golf course in good weather, right. And when it got blowing 30 miles an hour, a lot of those holes were near impossible coming down the stretch.
How's your rehab going?
Yeah. Good. I'm still not back to 100%, but all signs point I should be ready to go by September when the new season starts.
Excellent.
So looking forward to getting back out there and competing with the guys.
Interesting, too, Bethpage is a public course. Mm-hmm. And the PGA, the U.S. Open, also looking at more public courses, it looks like now.
Yeah, no, and it's great. I think it's another deal where, the average golfer can relate, to golf courses that they can go play. They can go play Torrey Pines. They can go play Pebble Beach. They can go play there. There's Harding Park out in San Francisco. And it's neat to see that. And look, the state of New York, if you're a New York resident, I think it's $50 to play. Bethpage Black, $60 if you can get a tee time. So it's great to have that access for people to get to play a course that they get to see on TV.
Yeah. We have... the latest that I've heard now is that Meadowbrook is going to close in about 6 months. Mm-hmm. Do you think that'll put a lot of more traffic on the available public golf courses here in town?
Well, I think so. I mean, I think that, look, there's Tulsa, we're very fortunate. I feel like we have some of the best golf per capita anywhere I've seen for very reasonable prices. Mm-hmm. So the courses that are still open, I think they'll definitely get a bump because, when the weather gets good, I think Tiger winning the Masters, I think, that'll help the buzz. Teams, Arkansas is a good golf team, Oklahoma State, people that follow that I think will help create more buzz in the local area.
Good.
Talk about the change in the calendar. PGA moving from August to May. It now sets up, they said, the big four, the majors of golf, about a month apart. Yep. Do you like the change?
I do. I think that it opens up the map to more golf courses. I think, for example, when the PGA was at Southern Hills in 2007, it was just tough. When it's 100 degrees, it's hard for superintendents to get the golf course the way they want them.
Yeah.
Whereas, in May, I think they have more flexibility. It's easier to get the golf course in good shape. And, really from March through August, the guys, have a really big tournament every month. I think it's exciting for the fans. They know each month there's going to be a big tournament that guys are building towards.
Yeah, I went back and looked at this, Gil. Now, 2006 when I came back at Channel 8, one of the first big events I covered was the PGA. Thursday and Saturday was 101 at Southern Hills. Friday was 100, and the final day, Sunday, when Tiger wrapped it up, was 102 degrees. Yeah. And then the second hottest PGA championship in the history of golf, also Tulsa, 100.2 degrees. That was one back on somewhere in the 70-some earlier than that, but those are tough. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, that was.
You were there.
Actually, the hottest day was the Sunday before. I think it was about 104, and so we got unlucky. I think that was only 7 days that summer that were over 100. It just happened to be when the world was watching Tulsa.
Oh man.
Well, it's great though with the renovation they've done out there to cool the greens or heat them up in the winter, and the watering, the irrigation system, and everything that we had. Nick Sidorkis on.
Yep.
He went through the whole thing, and I think that's going to make it even more a premier course to host national tournaments.
Yeah, no, I think the renovation's going to just cement Southern Hills' as place, and as the premier golf course with the upkeep and the different technology. And once people see how good it looks in 21 at the Senior PGA, there's going to be more tournaments calling for sure.
Mm-hmm. And I just saw Nick Sidorkis this weekend. In fact, he was at the PGA the first couple of days. And of course, they're lobbying. They got 2 dates open, I guess, later in the 20s.
In late 20s, yeah.
So they think they'll be getting one of those, as they should. Certainly, my gosh, $70 million renovation of the course, so it's going to be in great shape. So it's open June 1st again for the members. Some of our local PGA finishes.
Yep.
Some of your thoughts on these guys and some of the players.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously Ricky was doing well, had a tough last round.
Yeah.
Jimmy Walker, grew up in Oklahoma City, played at Baylor, great player. Won a PGA at Baltusrol a few years ago. Alex Noren plays mostly in Europe, played at Oklahoma State. And then Kevin Tway, who won earlier this year, they were all competing and played well, made the cut.
Well, it's great to see our local guys play.
Yeah.
And, on a national stage. It's too bad that we didn't do any better than we did. But.
Yeah, no, it's tough. I mean, they're playing against the best in the world, and you had Abram Ansah played at OU, and you got future college stars. Brad Dalkey at OU, Matt Wolf. They got Victor Hovland, who's a low amateur at the Masters. We're so fortunate with the tradition of college golf that produces guys that end up going to play professionally for a long time.
And what a surprise that Brooks Koepka is now the favorite, right, at Pebble Beach? the favorite. I can't imagine putting odds on golfers, though. That's crazy.
No, it would be tough. A lot of variables. Will be a lot of great stories at Pebble. I think, you got Phil Mickelson, who's won there a bunch of times during the regular tour event there in February. It's the one major he hasn't won. Would love to get a U.S. Open. He's getting up there in age. His opportunities. Obviously, Tiger's had a bunch of success there and already won the Masters this year. So, and Brooks, having already won 4 in 23 months. DJ's won at Pebble Beach several times. Had the lead there in 2010. Ended up, having a bad last round. So, kind of the heavy hitters will be right up there. There'll be a lot of buzz going around there.
And Koepka now goes back to #1 ranking in the world, right? Replaced Dustin.
Deservedly so, I think. Hasn't won as many regular tour events, but when you've won the majors and finished second in the Masters, how can you not peg him as #1 in the world right now?
Well, we've got something for you for braving the weather and being here with us. Again, thank you so much, Bo.
You can always have par at Bricktown.
Love it, absolutely.
We'll see you for the U.S. Open, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
And you bet. Good luck with that rehab. Get you back on the course here. Bo Van Pelt joining us here on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Stay right with us. We have a lot more coming up for you.
At Bricktown Brewery, we're known for our famous original craft beers like Single String Stout and Bluesberry Ale. Did you know we also brew our own root beer at our Oklahoma City brew house? It's called Attaboy Root Beer, and you'll love it no matter what your age. Just ask for a Bricktown Kids menu with all the favorites for our guests 12 and under. Bricktown Brewery opens every day at 11 a.m.
Welcome to OKC's most unique casino experience. One moment you're surrounded by dazzling lights, jackpotting the latest and greatest machines in town, and the next moment, cheering winner in the greatest quarter horse racing show on earth. It's a truly unique 24/7 gaming experience. The only casino in the heart of OKC is the only casino that can make your heart truly race. Remington Park.
Well, you know, Jimmy's Egg, of course, is the place to go for breakfast or lunch any time of the day, starting at 6 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. Jimmy's Egg, of course, with 3 locations in Tulsa, 22 company stores, 17 more in Oklahoma City. Want to be really cool, though? Go to the phone and get the Jimmy's app. Jimmy's app, you just pull up whatever you want. They have coupons, they have specials, they have the entire menu. You can order online as well. Jimmy's app with Jimmy's Egg. Can't beat it.
Welcome back to Oklahoma Sports Scene, where we have our Vice President and Media Relations, Brian Carroll from the Tulsa Drillers. And Brian, what's a good thing we're not playing tonight?
Yeah, I know we got out of town just in time before all this weather moved in, and yeah, unfortunately, we didn't leave town on a winning note, so it was kind of a tough weekend.
Tough
for us.
weekend, yeah.
A lot to go here in the first half. Right now, the team basically around the 500 mark. And some of your thoughts on the first half so far, Brian?
Well, I think it's been a little misleading, Chris. I mean, you know, we're at 500. We've played good baseball against everyone except for one team.
Arkansas, the leaders, yeah.
Arkansas, and we've had a large percentage of games against those guys, and they've got a good ball club, and they're one of those teams right now that find ways to win.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we've been on the opposite end of that. But there's, as you say, there's a lot of baseball to play, and still a lot ahead of us.
Yeah, the guy's been killing us. Is a Tulsa native, right?
Yeah, Donnie Walton.
Rob Walton's kid, Donnie Walton, who played at Bishop Kelly High School at Oklahoma State. And his dad, of course, is a baseball coach at Oral Roberts University, now the pitching coach at Oklahoma State. And that kid, the last couple of Sundays, has just killed us with some timely hits and cost us the games.
Yeah, he's beat us 2 games in a row. And, you know, you want to pull for the local kid, but I'm ready for him to do it against somebody else. Quit doing it against his hometown team. But, no, it's, you know, you're happy and proud for him being a local product. Yeah. And he's come through in the clutch. And the Sunday afternoon game, which, you know, we were within 1 out of getting a win. And you tip your cap to him. He hung in there, had a good at-bat, and got the game-winning hit.
I tell you, you know, he probably feels at home playing at One Oak because they played a couple of championship games there, you know, during his high school career.
Well, Barry Lewis talked to him after Sunday's game, and that's exactly what he said. That, you know, he is comfortable there. It's you know, it's a situation that he's been in before.
Played some Bedlam games there.
He played some Bedlam,
yeah.
I mean, so it's like coming home, really.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we're at Springfield, the 20th to 22nd, and back home again, the next home series at One Oak Field, May 23rd to 26th, hosting Northwest Arkansas. Get a little bit of a run here, hopefully. Yeah,
hopefully. As I say, we're turning the page on Arkansas, at least for a while. Right. Going to see some different faces, and we're looking forward to a big weekend. It's the holiday weekend, so we got a lot of activities planned, and really it centers around, we've got 3 straight fireworks shows, nice. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Fans make note that the Sunday game is not our typical afternoon game, but it will be a 7 o'clock start because we're doing Memorial Day fireworks after that game. So it should be a big weekend. Hopefully it'll be a winning weekend, and we can creep a little bit closer to Arkansas, who's been in first place basically since day one. But we've still got a lot of baseball between now and the end of the first half.
Well, at the end of the first half, is that when we have the All-Star game?
Yeah, it'll be just the week after that, June 25th. We get to host it at One Oak Field, and we're excited about that. It gives us an opportunity to put One Oak Field on display, but also the city of Tulsa, and especially the downtown area. We'll host executives from throughout the league and some others within minor league baseball, and then of course all of the players. So we're very proud of One Oak Field and where we play, and we always get excited to show it off to everyone, and we anticipate a big fun couple of days around that event.
Will there be a lot of scouts here to see those kids?
Oh, without a doubt. You know, you're putting the best of the best from our league on display, and it's interesting to go back and look at some of the names who have played in that game in the past. Jose Altuve, Eric Hosmer, Mike Trout. There's been some, basically a who's who of Major League Baseball has come through this league and played in that game. So you're going to get the opportunity to see all of those players on display at one time.
That's June 25th. The 7:05 is the first pitch for the Texas League All-Star Game. 6th time that Tulsa's hosted. Been a while since we had it here. Oak Park. What a great place to show it off. And I'm giving congratulations. I was noticing we are already 12,000 fans ahead of last year in attendance so far at home dates.
Yeah, it's been a good start. Now there's some factors in there. You know, we're coming off the championship season, so we had a lot of excitement coming into it. And then, you know, just as importantly for us, the weather has been good for us.
Right.
You talked about us getting out of town just in time, and we've fortunately been able to kind of coincide our home schedule with good weather. And then when you can throw in the fact that you get the opportunity to have Clayton Kershaw come and start on a Tuesday night, get a bonus sellout there as well. So a lot of things been going in our favor. As of right now, we've had 7 home sellouts already this year. In all of last season, we only had 6. So you can tell we're off to a flying start, and hopefully we've got a few more ahead of us as the season plays out.
Has the roster stayed pretty constant?
It has. We've had some shuffling with some pitchers, some back and forth, but that's kind of typical of the Dodgers, especially early season. They're limiting innings that the guys throw and trying to protect their arms. We did lose one player, Zach Rex. Has been promoted to AAA, and he was off to a great start with us with 10 home runs, and it was a good promotion. It was due for him. He had proven himself at this level, so they're sending him up a notch and see what he can do there.
Home City?
Yes, yeah.
Brian Carroll, our Vice President, Director of Media Relations for the Tulsa Drillers. And Brian, I'm excited about the fact that finally next month, the month of June, we've got a couple of week-long homestands. June the 3rd through the 9th, Springfield and Arkansas comes back. And June 17th to 23rd, Frisco and Amarillo come in. So fans have a great opportunity. This is a great baseball.
Yeah, and June's a great month for us. You know, the weather is warm, but it's the heat of the summer hasn't set in. School's out, so June is typically a very popular month for us. And to have 2 great homestands like that, again, works well for us. And it be our first opportunity to see the new Amarillo team. It's playing in a new ballpark down there, drawing large crowds out in West Texas as the San Antonio franchise moved to Amarillo as San Antonio got a AAA team. So that'll be kind of unique as well.
And check with the Drillers All-Star Game tickets again for the game June 25th. We got something for Brian here for maybe a trip over to One Oak Field across the street here.
Maybe you have a night or two off, you can go to Bricktown.
Hey, love to.
Brian, thanks for joining us.
All right, well, thank you, Chris.
Here. And look forward to that All-Star Game
Appreciate
again. Don't forget that June 25th. Be there for that. And again, the next homestand coming up here. We got some games coming up. Home series May 23rd to 26th. And week-long homestands June 3rd to the 9th, June 17th to 23rd. Get out and support those Tulsa Drillers. More baseball talk. We have the Pryor Tigers state champion coach coming up next. We welcome into Oklahoma Sports Scene the state champion of high school baseball in 5A from the Pryor Tigers, veteran coach Gerald Osborne. Coach, congratulations. First state championship in baseball ever for Pryor, right?
Yes, sir. First one. We've been in the finals before, but this is the first time to win it.
What a magical season. Talk about your season for us.
Geez, wasn't too many days to be upset. 38-3.
Gosh.
Never really felt like we played our best though until the end. And but great group of kids. They 5 seniors that pretty well led us the last couple of years, and just played great at the right time. Great.
They have 5 seniors leaving. Can you replace those 5?
Well, actually we have 9, and there's always somebody else that steps up now. To make comparisons, that's not fair.
Difficult, yeah.
But we are blessed that we do have some good players and had a lot of upperclassmen.
And the Metro Lakes is a good baseball
conference.
Yes,
that's kind of been eliminated now with the district play.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, very tough. Bishop Kelly, Claremore, Coweta, Tahlequah, all of those are really good clubs.
I tell you, kid, you're going to have to miss right this Trent Harrison.
Oh yes.
Well, this picture, listen to this. You know, he was 11-1 this season. His 3-year total with the Tigers, 26-2, and he had 5-hit shutout in that championship, right?
Yeah, he is just a bulldog, warrior. His only loss this spring was a walk-off 1-0 loss to an LSU commit in Alabama.
Wow.
So that gives you a little bit of an idea of what kind of competitor he is. And you watch him pitch, he just pounds the strike zone, has good late movement and good breaking ball, and don't walk anybody. And he didn't walk anybody on Saturday. And,
wow.
Lets the defense work. But just a great young man and great career, 26-2 in his career.
What are his plans now that he's leaving Prime?
He signed to play at Eastern.
Okay.
And so they're getting a good one.
Yeah, that's great.
No kidding. That's great. Well, that junior college league is pretty tough too.
Oh yeah, it is. It is.
They're taking you through the tournament, Coach, here. The quarterfinals, 4-2 win over Piedmont. On May 10th, the semifinals, that 11-1 win over Coweta in 5 innings. That's all it took there. Then the championship game at One Oak Field on May 11th. Fire Tigers 11. Carl Albert Titans, who, by the way, had come in there with their own win streak, 20-game win streak, 33-8, and you destroyed them 11-0, but you made it a little exciting till the very end, right?
Sure. Yeah. I don't know if destroy is the right word. It was 3-0 going into the 6th.
Yeah.
And then a couple things went our way in the 6th inning, and then it kind of got upside down then. But kids were ready to play that day, very focused, did a great job of competing in their at-bats, and when seized opportunities is really what we did the whole tournament. I think in the semifinals, maybe we walked 13 or 14 times.
Yeah.
And it seemed like when we had opportunities where we were given something that we made them pay for it. And that's kind of what happened in those last 2 games.
The years I coached baseball, I used to tell our team, walks and errors will kill you.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the 2 things. When they get free chances to get on base, you can't.
Yeah, leadoff walks will kill you. And in the tournament, we made 1 error in the first inning of the first game.
That's great.
And then after that, we settled in and played really well.
Joe, talk about your career. 26 years in high school baseball coaching, the last 19 with the Fire Tigers,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir. I've actually been in it 30 years. I was an assistant at Coweta for 4 years. Just extremely blessed. I mean, God has put people in my path that have been great mentors to me. And then to get to be at a place like Pryor, where a superintendent that hired me was Dr. Larry Burdick. Been there for 40 years, a baseball guy. His son was an All-American at OU, and then now our superintendent, Dr. Don Raleigh. Just a great people have been around me. I'm just extremely blessed, from players to administration to parents. I feel Lou Gehrig was the luckiest man. I feel like I'm one of the more blessed men.
And you have an additional assignment of being the director of athletics.
Yes, sir. And that can create challenges. But again, I'm blessed there because I have 2 assistant ADs, Daryl Heston and Greg Arnold, that are great. And then athletic secretary, which runs the whole show, Pam Arnold. And so I just do whatever they tell me I need to do.
Especially in the springtime when you're coaching so much. It's all the activities you have in the spring.
Yeah. The beauty of the athletic director part of it, though, has been I've just been able to connect with kids in all sports. Before that, I'd never seen a tennis match. Never spent any time out on the golf course unless I was chasing my own golf ball. And so, it gives you a chance to connect with those athletes and develop relationships with them. And I've really enjoyed it.
One school. How'd that have Gil with 9 schools as athletic director?
He does an amazing job. I know that.
We know that for sure.
Yes.
A Hall of Famer. That's amazing to me.
Yeah.
Again, the city probably is going to be so excited. What do they have planned for the kids? What are you doing for celebration?
We've had a big assembly already, and of course we had a police escort.
Oh, great.
As soon as we got to the gate at Claremore, which there's some of the prior people that kind of wanted us to take the police escort through Claremore first, but we wanted to make sure we didn't do that because have a lot of respect for those people and stuff. It's really been a big deal for everybody because, like I said, it hasn't happened there before, and the alumni, even on the day of the state championship game, some of the young men that had played for me that had been close were there, and
that's great.
They were emotional, and so there's a lot of people that's been invested in this for a long time, and so it was a great moment for them.
Well, we have a prize for you here too, Coach.
Tell you what, now that
Bonus
you have
for you.
maybe a little bit of time
That's
off,
right.
Yeah.
take your wife to Bricktown.
Oh, awesome. Thank
Enjoy
you.
dinner with us for lunch there.
Thank you.
Again,
Thank
Coach,
you.
congratulations. I loved your emotions after the game.
Thank you.
Meant to you and the kids at Pryor.
Thank
Way to
you.
go, Pryor Tigers. We're proud of you, gang. Congratulations there. You know, my wife Beck and I were the Pryor Christmas marshals, or what do we? Oh yeah, Grand Marshals, the parade.
Right.
I love that.
Whatever it
I
is.
love that Christmas parade. One Main Street at Pryor, down and done about 10 minutes.
You bet.
You know, I used to coach
Great time,
baseball
man.
against your former mayor,
Yeah.
Jimmy Trammell.
Oh, yeah.
And Tulsa Kids baseball.
Oh, yeah.
He beat me for 2 years in T-ball.
Yeah.
And for the next 6 years, we went 67-0.
Ah.
And he never beat me
He
again.
motivated you.
He certainly did.
Again, congratulations, Gerald Osborne, the head baseball coach for 19 seasons with the Pryor Tigers and now the state 5A champions of Oklahoma baseball. When we come back, we have more state championship high school things to talk about. Gil's very proud of this. His Booker T. Washington soccer coach is going to join us, talk about their back-to-back 5A title.
Welcome back to Oklahoma Sports Scene, and we have a really special guest now. It's good to win one state championship, but when you win back-to-back state championships like Cassie Emery did for the Booker T. Washington Lady Hornets, it's really something. Welcome to the show, Cassie.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks for having me.
Who was the genius that hired Cassie Embry now to
Well,
back-to-back
you know,
champions?
John Potashnik, who was the AD out there at the time.
Good
Or
job. Well,
Brad
Brad
Caleb.
Caleb,
Yeah.
give us some of your background then in the sport here, Cassie.
I played in high school. First I took high school, and then I went on to play at a junior college for 1 year because I tore my ACL my senior year.
Oh.
And then transferred to Oklahoma State, where we were Big 12 back-to-back champs 2 years in a row. Stayed there for 3 years.
Nice, very nice.
I tell you what has happened with our girls soccer program. Now, one of the good things is we've been in 5A, which helps us a little bit
It
there
does.
with the numbers and everything. But you've had some really outstanding young individuals. Why don't you talk about some of those?
One of my big players who gets accolades all the time is Ashton Gordon. She's graduating a full year early to go play at Arkansas, which is a D1 university. She was last year's Gatorade Player of the Year, Jim Thorpe Player of the Year, Oklahoma Player of the Year. She's been nominated this year again for Gatorade Player of the Year and Tulsa World All Team, All World, yeah. So she's one of our big players, and then our two all-state players are Carrington Bridges and Lauren Cousins. And 3 of my girls are going on to play in college, and that's Lauren Cousins, Ashton Gordon, and Zoe Athens.
Before we talk about the 2019, this year's state championship, I was so impressed with looking at some of the numbers of the 2018 run. You won your last 15 straight, outscoring opponents 64-4, winning the 5A title over Cassia Hall. Wow, what a run. Talk about that domination.
Last year was great. We had several seniors that graduated from last year, but they went on, a lot of them went on to play, and some of them D1 as well. And then, like you said, we played Cassia Hall in the state final, and we ended up winning 1-0, so that was nice.
I tell you, the game that I really enjoyed though was the state championship game this year. And you talked about the halftime speech that she said. And when I asked her, I said, "What did you tell them?" She said, "Well, if we go out and score early in the second half, momentum will change." And in 33 seconds, they scored.
Good talk, Coach.
Worked out.
Down 1-0 to Bishop Kelly and went on to score 5 goals in that second half. Right. Win 5-3 for the state title. And again, that young lady Carrington Bridges you mentioned, she really dominated there.
Yeah, 2 goals in the state game. She scored the game winner against McGinnis, the game winner against Cassia Hall, and the game winner against Claremore. So she did really well.
Wow.
She's a walk-off soccer player.
I'd say so. My gosh. What's your philosophy in soccer? Are you more of a defensive minded, or it sounds to me very offensive minded with the way these ladies score?
I think it will be situational with whatever team I have. Fortunately for me, this year and last year, we were defensive minded. We got scored on 0 times in district play last year and this year.
Wow.
A lot of that is based around who I had in the back. I was a attacking center midfielder, and so I think that's where I like to focus. But as a team, I think we were great defensively.
Well, the defense you talk about, not having the opponent score in district play for 2 years is incredible.
Yeah, it's almost unheard of. So and this year even more incredible because our goalie had never played goalie before. We didn't have a varsity goalie set, and so we just went to a girl on the basketball team and asked her if she would come play goalie for us, and she's never played, and she said yeah, and she didn't get scored on at all, so it's pretty crazy.
Well, she's 6'4", 6'5"?
She's not that. She's maybe 5'10".
Oh, really?
5'11", yeah.
She looked big in the goal.
Yeah, she does well covering the goal, and she does good. You wouldn't have known that she's never played before watching her play.
You got to keep it going now. Back-to-back championship. Now, of course, people talk about a three-peat. What are the prospects of the 2020 Hornet, the girls?
I think we are going up to 6A, so it'll be a different level of soccer. But these girls know the feeling of winning, and they love it, and they work hard, and they find a way to win even when it looks like we're going to lose. And so I'm not going to say they're out of it at all.
That's interesting. Up to 6A, Coach.
Yeah, when you're on the bubble there, and we were 37, and then we were 36, which is right, and then the top 32, and now we're at 30.
Yeah.
Our only hope is that 2 or 3 of the larger schools will reclassify and have 2 or 3 schools instead of 1. And then that'll move them back down again to 5A. But and we worked very hard to try to get a 6A2 in soccer, and one in every sport. And we spent 1 year going over to Oklahoma City, and finally it was very abundantly clear to me that the association did not want to have anything but football, to have 6A2, and that was how it was going to be. Every vote we have 12 people on the committee, every vote we had was 9-3 opposing everything that us 3 from the big school brought up. So anyhow, but they'll do well because of what Cassie said. They've won before, and when you've learned to win, you don't think about the other thing.
And all she's done is win at Booker T. Washington. Her second year as the head girls soccer coach there with the Hornets, and back-to-back 5A state champions. We have something for the coach here.
We sure do. Now that you have some time off, we are guests to go to Bricktown.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. That's awesome.
Cassie, thanks for taking the time. Congratulations, young lady. It's been a great season, great 2 seasons for you. Well done.
Thank you.
We have another state champion soccer guy to talk about. We're going to bring in the Jinx soccer coach for the 6A state title. They had a little closer battle than Cassie did with the Booker T girls. Stay with us here on Oklahoma Sports Scene.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
Remington Park is now officially open around the clock. That's right, we are 24/7.
We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock till broad daylight. Gonna rock around the clock tonight.
So when we say the party never ends, you better believe it. Remington Park, now open 24/7.
Each week we talk about the GTR, and we know for a fact that Forrest Cameron and his wife Sharon put out a tremendous paper. Well, I brought all 6 of them today. I'd like for you to see them. The Union Boundary, and here is the Owasso Rambler. And if you live in Bixby, how about the Bixby Breeze or Broken Arrow, the Broken Arrow Express, Jinx, District Gazette, and then of course the Tulsa Midtown. All of those, the GTR. If you haven't had an opportunity to read one, do it, and you'll be proud of it.
Welcome back to Oklahoma Sports Scene, and we have another soccer state champion from the Jinx Trojans, Eric Marshall. And Eric, of course, a tremendous background, having played at Duke, having coached at Union, and now 2 years at Jinx and a runner-up in a state championship. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Talk about your background in soccer, especially that playing at Duke University, making a Final Four, right?
Yes, I started my college career at Duke University, made the Final Four, fortunately, my freshman year. I got that experience early on, played with some outstanding collegiate athletes that are actually coaching in MLS and doing some other jobs in MLS as well. So very good to kind of start that background, and it actually has given me a foothold into coaching where I'm doing right now. So
I guess you spent a little time in Cameron Indoor Stadium there with the Blue Devil basketball team?
Yes, as many outings as we could. We took together to go watch some college basketball. Obviously, every time they played UNC, we were trying to get some tickets to that game because that was the best show around. So definitely got to watch a whole lot of college basketball while I was there.
Well, tell us a little bit about your background before you went to Duke.
I actually played for Tulsa Soccer Club, which is still a very good club that's here in town. Played for them for a while, went to Broken Arrow High School, played high school there, and then also played a little college at Northeastern State as well after I played at Duke. So I've kind of been around the block, if you will, with my soccer coaching and playing abilities. So.
Interesting, against Union, you had a great history with Union. You were runner-up to them in the semifinal in 2018.
Yes, sir.
Then you win in a great shootout in 2019, but before that you were 10 years with the Redskins, right? Talk about your time at Union.
I was the assistant coach at Union for 10 years under head coaches of Jason Jademski and Corey Butler, who were actually both childhood friends of mine. So we were, I think, state runner-up on one occasion, actually a state championship on one occasion as well. So we were always in the mix for that state semifinal and final at Union. So I kind of carried that along with me with my coaching at Jinx.
You know, I think it's outstanding what Broken Arrow and Union and Jinx, I guess, have done to build your own pitch where you're not on the football field or wherever. Say what that's done to your program.
Well, I mean, Union has an outstanding facility. Broken Arrow has one as well. Jinx has yet to acquire that soccer-specific stadium, but that actually has a lot to do with the soccer feel, if you will. Having your own specific stadium that you don't have to share with anyone else. It kind of gives you an edge on other opponents if you have that at your own place.
Well, Jinx needs to catch up now. State champions, the Trojans deserve their own.
Hopefully that has something to go along the way to kind of make that push.
We'll pass it on to the Jinx Trojans here. Let's talk about that state championship game. I thought it was never going to end. Talk about the shootout, about 11 penalty kicks it took? 11
penalty kicks, yeah. The first 5 took, and then we were even on that. Then the second 5 had to take. Then after that, it was the first one to miss. And I don't think in a state final, I'm not quite sure if that has happened before. No. So as a coach, very stressful to watch. As spectators, I'm sure it was pretty stressful to watch as well. But I'm very fortunate that we came out on top of that.
That sophomore forward years, Christian Sosa had the winning kick, and good to see he's a sophomore. He'll be back. How about returning guys for 2020?
Actually, we had 3 sophomores that were on that state final team. Christian Sosa, Eric Quiroz, who plays left back for us, and also Andres Quintero, who was the one that scored the goal to get us into penalty kicks. All 3 of those young guys are going to be juniors for us, or sophomores this year. We also have Will Edwards coming back, who is an outstanding junior. He is also a candidate for the Gatorade Player of the Year. He's also a candidate for the All-World Tulsa World, and he's also has received the All-State Insurance Award, where he's going to go play in Orlando over the summer, right before the MLS All-Star game. So he'll be coming back, as well as Noah Gonzalez, who is also another offensive player for us that has done very well.
Well, I'll tell you what, to go 18-0 though, you know, that's pretty unique in this time because of the parity with teams across the state, wouldn't you think?
Yes, sir. 18-0 is pretty unique, like you said. It takes a lot of diligence, a lot of discipline, and to be quite honest, a little bit of luck along the way. Because there were about 4 or 5 games that we went to penalty kicks once again that could have gone either way. Throughout the season, we were battle tested. So we kind of taken it, you know, penalty kick after penalty kick to kind of get us to that point where, yes, we were at penalty kicks once again, but we'd been there before, so it was one of those feelings that we thought that we could win.
Coach, your impression of youth soccer in Tulsa and how it might help feed into your program and other high school programs?
Well, youth soccer in Tulsa, for me, has always been very sound. Even when I was playing with Tulsa Soccer Club, there was always years after years after years of pretty good talent, and that has helped me as far as a head coach of my 2 years at Jinx. Every year there's a talent pool of about 25 to 30 players that I can pick from to kind of go through the ranks for those 4 years, where we're pretty much not ever going to be down a year with all those players coming in. So the club level, all those club teams around have definitely fed into the success that we're having at Jinx.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. Well, we want you to enjoy some time off and really enjoy that 18-0 record with a trip to Bricktown.
All right, thank you guys so much. I appreciate
back
it.
to the end.
All right, thank you so much.
Congratulations, Eric.
All right, thank you.
Head soccer coach of the 6A boys state champion Jinx Trojans, and they did it the easy way with 11 penalty kicks to finally win it, beating their rival Union. You're going to have great to join us here. We're going to come right back there with our Remington Race Report, so stay right with us here on Oklahoma Sports Scene.
30 years ago, a race began along a quarter mile of dirt and dreams in Oklahoma City. Today, with the biggest prize money and the best horses, that glittering quarter mile is home to the best quarter horse racing on earth. Remington Park proudly presents our biggest quarter horse season ever, celebrating 30 years of hard racing fun. World's best, OKC's own, Remington Park.
I bring Tulsa's voice to Oklahoma City and Washington. I build relationships with elected officials and community stakeholders to develop policies that grow the Tulsa region. I loved my time at Rogers State University. The personal relationships I developed with professors really helped develop a skill set that would help me serve the Tulsa region that I care about. It all started for me at Rogers State University.
Well, the fans at Remington Park in Oklahoma City had a great time betting and watching the Preakness Stakes this past Saturday. Also, big trials for the Appaloosas and the Paints. And wrapping it all up for us, here's Dale Day.
We are in the stretch run of the 2019 Remington Park Quarter Horse Paint and Appaloosa season. Important trials were conducted this weekend to qualify paints and apps for the richest futurity of their season, the Speed Horse Graham Futurity. Top older paints and Appaloosas were featured Friday night in the Mr. Louis Memorial, named in honor of the legendary trainer Louis Warchow, who dominated paint and Appaloosa racing nationally prior to his passing in 2003. DTL Samurai was the heavy favorite at 4-5 odds. They're off in the Mr. Louis Memorial. Good start inside for Bully Pulpit, and DTL Samurai right there, nose to nose. Now DTL Samurai takes the lead. Chasing third and coming on. Here's I'm a Real Live Wire. Running fourth right now is Just Cuz. It's all DTL Samurai out by a little more than 2. And DTL Samurai clearing away here. DTL Samurai by a length and a half. DTL Samurai adds the Mr. Louis to his score last month in the Paul Harbor Memorial. The talented 4-year-old is a definite contender for seasonal champion paint honors at Remington Park. Heavy rains on Saturday morning, May 18th, forced a sloppy racing surface during the trials for the $259,000 Speed Horse Graham Futurity, the richest race for paints and Appaloosas in the world. They're off. Slow beginning for BG Let 'em Fly. Out sharply, Bodacious Ben from the rail. Bell and Wire is right there. Now Teata Tails picks things up and moves into second, trying to split rivals inside. Bodacious Ben falling off the pace is DTL Smooth Criminal. At the rail, Bell and Wire drifting out a bit, but on the lead and clear. Bell and Wire by almost 2. The top 350-yard time came in the third trial of 6, with Bell and Wire romping home from the inside post under jockey Justine Klaber for trainer Ray and Lowe. 2 trials later, DTL Chase and Tail, already a winner of 2 stakes races this season, including the Oklahoma Paint Appaloosa Futurity in March, showed he was ready for another stakes attempt with a convincing trial victory by 1.5 lengths for trainer Matt Whitekiller with Cody Smith up. DTL Chase and Tail finds gears others don't have. DTL Chase and Tail to win it by 2 1/4. Bell and Wire and DTL Chase and Tail, the top 2 qualifiers in the field of 10 for the rich Speed Horse Graham Futurity. They'll compete for that big money on June 1st, the final night of the Remington Park season. Just a few race dates remain in this season at Remington Park. Don't forget our special post time coming up on Memorial Day. early racing that day at 11 a.m. Then the season wraps up on Saturday, June 1st. Special post time for Champions Night is at 5 p.m. The richest races of the season, the $1 Million Heritage Place Futurity, along with the Heritage Place Derby and the Remington Park Championship, as well as that Speed Horse Grand Futurity, all on tap on that final night. At Remington Park in Oklahoma City, I'm Dale Day. Now back to Sports Scene.
And of course, live racing in Remington Park in Oklahoma City, Thursday through Sunday, always free admission and free parking. And something to look forward to, the date's here, August 23rd. That's the start of the great thoroughbred racing season as well. They're coming down the stretch of the quarter horses. Get ready for more great racing in Remington Park. When you come back, we'll have our parting shots for you.
Welcome to OKC's most unique casino experience. One moment you're surrounded by dazzling lights, jackpotting the latest and greatest machines in town, and the next moment, cheering home a winner in the greatest quarter horse racing show on earth. It's a truly unique 24/7 gaming experience. The only casino in the heart of OKC is the only casino that can make your heart truly race. Remington Park.
Jimmy's Egg now introducing a 55-plus menu. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Special items and special prices for us a little older, I guess you'd say. Also, don't forget, coming up on Jimmy's Egg, they have free pancakes. That's right. You download their app, you can order free pancakes. The best ever, of course, at Jimmy's Egg. They serve breakfast and lunch all day. They open at 6 a.m. They close at 2 p.m. Locations throughout Tulsa, throughout Oklahoma City, 22 company locations. Jimmy's Egg, simply the best. As we put a wrap on this edition of Oklahoma Sports Scene, time for parting shots. Coach Cloud leads us off.
My parting shot today is for the Connor State Aggie baseball team, Perry Keith, who has coached for 34 years, where the stadium is named after Perry Keith. So many great players that have gone into professional baseball have gone through Connor State College. But this year is a unique year. They're qualifying again for the NJCAA World Series in Grand Junction, Colorado, without having played one single game at home. They put in turf, or were trying to put in turf, and with all the weather in the spring and now early summer, they have yet to finish their turf installation. So congratulations to Perry Keith, Connor State Aggies, baseball going to the NJCAA World Series without playing one home game.
Well, the National Basketball Association championships are winding down now. It's been a real international year and the most international of all our professional sports. The NBA has 108 foreign players from 42 countries on the rosters. Every team in the NBA, all 30 teams, have at least one international player. The very first international player in the NBA, you asked? 1946. That's right, Italian born Hank Bassetti, who grew up and played in Canada, the very first NBA player. And now we've got players from around the world. Canada has the most with 41, France with 28, Serbia with 28, and Australia with 25. Basketball is the most international of all our pro sports. All right, Coach, big golf tournament coming up for TPS.
We got the big golf tournament at the June 7th. It'll be at La Fortune. And to be able to enroll and register your team or buy a hole or participate, you need to go to http://lafortuneparkgolf.com, golf.com, and you will be able to enroll right there. If not, call our office at 918-746-6453.
Our very next Oklahoma Sports Scene, we're going to preview one of the big events of the summer here in Tulsa, Tulsa Tough. The great St. Francis sponsored bike race, so join us then. Thanks for being with us on Oklahoma Sports Scene. We'll see you next time.